Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura. I'm an aspiring writer and a book lover. I've had an idea percolating in my head. I have not been feeling very motivated to write or work on any of my creative projects recently, and so I wanted to do a writing vlog. The reading vlog that I did last time was motivating to get me to read, and so I'm going to do a writing vlog to motivate me to write. We're going to do an experiment. I am a pantser. I am 100% pure blood grade A discovery writer. I am not a planner. I am not a plotter. I am not an outliner. I don't know why, but the concept of it scares me. So for this vlog, this might be a series. I don't know. I'm going to attempt to outline and plot a novel. The only real outline I've ever done was after I had finished most of the manuscript on HBBF, Project HBBF, I guess. So I've only ever outlined one time in my life, and that was after I had almost most of the story written. That was my attempt at doing the 3-act structure, and I feel like it kind of worked, but maybe there's another outlining method that I could use that would be more effective. As you can see, there's a lot of blank spaces. So first, I gotta look up how to outline a novel and find a method that I want to use. How to outline a novel. We've got 8 simple steps, 9 simple steps, there's 7 steps, 5 parts, 3 acts. No wonder I'm confused. It's 6:30. I'm gonna go make myself some dinner, and then I'm gonna watch Abby's video about outlining a novel. Breakfast for dinner, girl dinner, and protein. So I finished Abby Iman's video. I took a couple pages of notes, a page and a half. So her first step, or step 0, was the idea. It's okay if the idea is vague. There needs to be an idea. And then do a Scrivener dump. So I have an idea for a story. I've already written a bit of that story. I'm going to pull that up on my Google Docs. I don't have a title for this story, but it's about a woman named Claire working at a smoothie shop. She's closing for the night and doing the last trash run to the dumpsters across the parking lot when she turns around and there's a monster, a flash of light, and all fades to black. She's abducted by aliens. There's a male protagonist as well. There will be point of view chapters from him. So I have about 2,700 words for this story already. It's a decent start. The male protagonist's name is Raikorsh, and he is a Dasai male. So I'm going to boot up my laptop, boot up a new Scrivener file, and do a brain dump about Claire and Raikorsh. Eso. Hi. Hi, sweetness. I'm trying to write. Hi. I love you. I've got my vague idea down. The brain dump I took from some of what I've already written and just kind of condensed it into here. And I've been listening to Ace do that the entire time. Aso! You're stinky! That's it for tonight. We made it through part 0 of Abby Iman's novel plotting made simple. method. Tomorrow, I will start doing some rough sketches of the characters, the plot, the setting, the theme, and the vibe. For now, I must go to sleep. And before I do that, I must wash my hair. It is time. It is time! Aso! Come here! Come here, old man! Hi, old man. Are you sniffing? I do. Yeah, hi. Mom's gonna be a writer. Mom is a writer. Mom is already a writer. I am a writer, and I just need to act like one. Hello, everybody. It's the next day. I came home from work, and I took a nap. And I did not feel like writing anything today, and I did not feel like filming. Hi, sweet boy. Did you bring me your gator? Come here. Come here and show me your gator. Come here and show me the gator. That's a nice old gator, dude. You got your gator? I like the gator. That's a good gator. So I wasn't going to film, I wasn't going to write, but here we are. I need to. I need to do both of those things. Yesterday, where did we live off? We got through part 0, which is the idea, the vague idea, the Scrivener brain dump. Now, step 1 is the rough sketches. Rough sketches of characters, plot, setting, vibe, themes, and as Abby put it, find the mess in the story. First up, I'm going to go through my current document and just write down all the characters, and then we'll do the same for setting. Don't ask me why I'm on 2 computers. Okay, ask me why I'm on 2 computers. I got this laptop for school because the iPad wasn't cutting it anymore for all the work that I needed to do, so we got me a laptop last year. And on the laptop is where I have the most current versions of my novels in the Scrivener files. I still have Scrivener and everything else on my big computer. These computers are not connected in any way. My video editing software, this is where I watch my YouTube videos, and this is where I do my writing. So I've got my Google Doc up here on my desktop screen, Scrivener open on my laptop. For places on Scrivener, there is a section. For places, there's a section for characters. We're going to add a text. Places so far in the story include Central Ohio, which is the smoothie shop where Claire works. The start of this story takes place in Ohio. I lived in Ohio briefly. The first sentence of this work in progress is, there was a reason that Ohio was the inspiration behind so many cringy pop punk bands. I'm also doing this project here and here to increase my skill with Scrivener. There's so much about this program that I don't know how to utilize. I'm still learning it. I've been reading a book about it, watching tutorials. This is a very powerful program that I need to figure out how to use effectively. I think Devin's making curry tonight, and I'm very excited. I specifically requested it because it's my fave. Okay, Central Ohio. Smoothie shop and the alley with the dumpsters. Then we have the Yilkoff. I don't know where that name came from. The Yilkoff ship. The main part there is the holding cell. That's the main thing we see. Giant blue monster. Rykorsh. I'm on the characters tab now. We've got Claire. We've got Rykorsh. Rykorsh has a bunch of subordinates that have a whole bunch of names. We'll come back. Back to places. Well, I guess we'll break that down. So the Yilkoff ship, we also visit the bridge of the ship. Oh, not the holding cell. It's the brig. That's a better word for it. I have never written anything science fiction before. I don't know why I'm jumping into science fiction now. I've read a great deal of science fiction, but that's mostly been the Halo series, which I've read there's over 30 books and I've read most of them. Ender's Game, and all of the alien smut. Of which I have great recommendations if anybody's interested in the alien smut genre, which is what actually got me into writing smut. Thank you, Ice Planet Barbarians. That is where it all started. We have Rykorsh's transport ship, the women's quarters, on the transport ship. One of the things I love about this character, Claire, something I never see in most books is characters who have vision correction, and need vision correction to be able to function. That's my whole world right now. That's what I do in my real job, my money-making job. I'm an ophthalmologist technician. I help you get your glasses. I check your eye pressures. I dilate your eyes for the doctor, take all the notes, scribe for the doctor, etc. I guess this is kind of inspired by Ice Planet Barbarians, man, by Ruby Dixon. That started a lot for me. Several of her stories focused on oh my gosh, I have to sneeze so bad. It has been 10. It's been 5 years since I've read Ice Planet Barbarians, so a lot has slipped. But she has great representation in her books. One of the characters is deaf and loses her cochlear. There's the autistic representations and that kind of thing. And an easy thing to ignore is a lot of people need vision correction. So our character, Claire, she gets kidnapped wearing her contact lenses. And you should not sleep in your contact lenses. Don't let me catch you sleeping in your contact lenses, okay? I'm very passionate about this. So Claire gets kidnapped while wearing her contact lenses. She's unconscious for who knows how many days. Only bit of correction she has with her, and without them, she is helpless. She is extremely nearsighted, which means she cannot see far away. And her nearsightedness is so extreme that she also has kind of a hard time seeing at the mid-range as well. Like, she can only see things really, really close to her face without her contacts. So that's something I have to address, of how they're going to fix that, how aliens are going to fix vision correction. Corridor on the ship before that. The great thing about Scrivener, I can type a thing, and then I can just scooch it. Boop. In orbit around the Dasai home planet, which is a viewport on the ship. So far, I have 7 locations. There will be more, but so far in what I have written already, there are 7 locations. I'm going to go back to the characters tab and start getting the names down of the characters I've already created. So I've got Claire, Rykorsh, the team that Claire works with at her smoothie shop. I'm going to just combine them into one card, because they're probably never going to come back up. The woman's been abducted by aliens. Our names, we've got Daniela. She gets sent home early. Maybe Daniela should get kidnapped too. Like, did she get abducted earlier? Should we abduct the boys and break some stereotypes and have some of the men get abducted? Mark is the new hire. No, Robert is the new hire. Mark. So there's 3 characters in the smoothie shop. The only other characters I have are, well, the alien that abducts the Yulkov, who are the traffickers. The alien monster is blue, the Yulkov are not blue. Another character I mentioned is the commander. He is part of another story that I had started that I don't know if this is actually going to be related to this here. But his name is mentioned a couple times, so we'll put him on there. Oh, Rykorsh is part of the Silent Swords. He's the captain. Tomjen. So the Silent Swords are boarding this vessel, not for the humans, but there's a data sphere they're looking for. What that data sphere contains, I don't know. Tomjen, he finds the humans in the holding cell. Kygor Ninal. And then the women that have been kidnapped with Claire. How many did I say? 10 other women. So there's Claire plus 10 women. So it's Rykorsh, Tomjen, Kygor, Ninal. That's pretty good for an infiltration squad. Yeah, 4. Okay, so I got all the characters, and I got all of the places. I'm going to need some names for the 10 women that are in the holding cell, but I don't think we're there yet. So that's 20 characters. We're only doing points of view from Claire and Rykorsh. We're not going into these other characters. So that's a lot of people to keep track of names and making them relevant. And then the Yulkov enemy aliens. There's a number of them on the ship, but most of them are wiped out. God dang. Next up on our list here. God, if my allergies could just hold off for a second. Rough sketches, characters, plot, setting, vibe, themes. Okay, so I listed the characters. Most of them did not get a rough sketch. So let's pop back to Claire. Oh, let's spell her name right. Claire is a shift manager at... I don't think I named this smoothie shop. Hi, welcome to Smoothie Stop Creative. And has worked there for 3 years. She is a good trainer. She's patient. She's so cute. I love her already. I love Claire already. All right, Robert, I'm going to make one last trash run. While I'm gone, will you start emptying the juice dispensers into these jugs? See these labels? Label them for end of day with tomorrow's date like this. See? When I get back, I'll show you how to speed run closing and we can finally go home. She's just cute. She's a hard worker. I don't know. What else do I know about her? In most of these stories, or stories that are similar to this, they are estranged from their family in some way. There's no love interest. There's not a dog at home. Readers don't want that, that emotional tension, because then you have to find a way to solve what does the human do about their dog that was left in the apartment when they got kidnapped. Like that's a whole other complication. Like we could do that. We could give Claire a dog, but then what? Because I'm not planning on her being able to go back to Earth after this. There's certain tropes. There's tropes with these kinds of stories. She was kidnapped wearing a Smoothie Stop t-shirt, black skinny jeans, and contact lenses. All right, on to Rykosh. We've got an elite infiltration soldier. He's got 10 years of combat experience. He is the one the commander sends into high risk, high reward. Let's put the hyphen there. Reward. Operations. I don't feel like I really need to develop the smoothie shop staff any further. Smoothie Stop. The blue alien that does the abducting, sentient, gets paid by the Yilkov to abduct, abduct victims, blue tentacles. Yilkov had yellow blood, long fingers, screechy voices. They're a banished clan that the Silent Swords have been hunting. So, on to Tomjen. He is the tech guy. Kygor and Ninal are the muscle. There are my characters. Hello everybody, welcome back to day 3 of A Pantser is Plotting. Sorry if you can hear the dogs panting in the background. We went and played ball for a little while, and they are happy, but they cannot breathe. Especially Ace, he seems to be having a hard time. So, on the docket for today, we left off yesterday doing rough sketches, and I got through the characters and the setting. So I need to continue a little bit more of that with plot, vibe, and theme before diving in a little bit deeper with the characters. I did have an idea for Rykosh. He is part of the Silent Swords, which is an elite group of infiltration soldiers. There's a better way to word that, but that's what we're working with. And there's only a few of them, and they're separated from like the rest of the military. They're kind of elevated above that. They're super soldiers. Can you tell that Halo is one of my major influences? I'm going to do my own thing with that, though. So I had an idea about him. Characters need to have an internal and an external conflict. And I think Rykosh's internal conflict is that he thinks he'll never be able to connect with anybody or form any lasting relationships. So we're going to start with that. That will probably change and evolve, but also I need to get that written down before I forget my brilliant idea. So let's crack open the old laptop here. Y'all, I ordered a new light because I have this dingy little thing that I've had since my YouTube days. Since my original beauty channel YouTube days, and it's fine, but it's good for if it's up close to your face, and now I film at a distance, so be prepared for some excellent lighting coming up in the next video, or possibly the end of this video. You'll have to let me know if you like the difference. Okay, here we go, to the novel. I'll look at setting. Oh, I did do a little bit of that yesterday in the Places tab on the Scrivener doc, so I already have settings. Vibe and themes. For the vibe, space adventure, sci-fi romance. We need a better word for sci-fi romance. Alien smut. You know, romantasy got like a cute name. I want like an exotic vibe since we're going to be on an alien planet. Exotic. Alien is a good vibe. Theme. Someone in the universe is right for you. Might not be a human man. You know what I'm saying? Might be a 6.5 foot alien super soldier. Breaking up your routine. Claire is stuck in a routine. Okay, breaking up your routine can lead to a grand adventure. This is so hard for me to think ahead. My brain does not work this way. Okay, we're gonna jump into the who of the story, which refers to the characters. She's stuck in a routine and feels like she has peaked in life at 32 years old. Rykorsh spends a lot of time relatively isolated and has given up on ever finding a mate. The Yilkov, they're at the beginning of the story. They're the ones who are trafficking the women, and I think they need to retaliate for the crew that Rykorsh's squad. That's a good word. Squad. That could be our midpoint, like our crisis climax of the story. Climax of the story and recapture Claire. Why? What is motivating them to do that? What would motivate? Well, revenge. Claire's motivation. Obviously, she wants to return to Earth, but realizes there is a better life for her with Rykorsh on... I think I named the planet, but I didn't like the name that I gave it. Naming things is really hard. I really have a hard time with names. Especially, like, alien names. I don't know. What sounds alien, but also is memorable and spellable and pronounceable? Plot. That's where we're headed next. That's what scares me about outlining. Plotting, obviously, that's the whole point of this god dang video. You have to come up with a plot. There are some tropes that I've noticed in sci-fi romances. The alien race of the male protagonist is usually having some kind of fertility problem. They run out of females, the females aren't reproducing, and their species is about to die. It's a tired trope. I've read it so many times. So I think we need to find something else that would motivate an alien to mate with a human. I'm just going to write that down. We need a reason. It's like it's infertility or a virus or all of the women got wiped out by an enemy clan. There's so many tropes within this genre that I kind of want to break, but also tropes are not a bad thing. So I would have to pick which trope. More on that later. The basic premise of the story. I think we're going to go back and forth. As I think about the plot, it's going to bring up motivations for the characters. Like, that's all going to build on each other. So I'm not going to do that step by step. We're back in brain dump mode. Why is this so hard? Maybe I need to eat. This is really hard. How do I come up with a plot? I don't know why I decided that this is what I was going to write. I'm frozen. Writer's paralysis. What the fuck is happening over here? So she talked about the bullet point outline. And remember, I watched Abby Iman's video about plotting. And she breaks it down into several different pieces. So I'm going to type that out. We've got the hook, the inciting incident, first plot point, the pre-midpoint reactionary hero. I am not sure what that means. Game-changing midpoint. Post-midpoint action hero. Disaster/dark moment, which is like the dark night of the soul. The aha moment. Climactic confrontation, and then the resolution. I have had a few ideas, so let's just start filling that part in. And I'm not going to start at the beginning. I'm a pantser. I go anywhere I want to go, whenever I want to go there. So, the disaster, dark moment, dark night of the soul is when Rykorsh realizes that Claire has been taken again by the Yilkov. And the climactic confrontation, that will be the battle to get Claire back. Before what? Before what happens? Before she is sold to... Question mark. We'll put that in parentheses. Before what? Who is she being sold to in the end? I guess the midpoint. Claire realizes her feelings for Rykorsh just before the Yilkov take her again. The hook, we've already written. Claire gets abducted. The inciting incident, Rykorsh rescues the women from the Yilkov. Brig. Claire is forced to remove her contact lenses, becomes entirely at the mercy of Rykorsh because she cannot see beyond her fingertips. She can see here, clearly, ish, and no further. We've got some stuff going here. Okay. Is any of it good? I don't know. Is any of it usable? Maybe. Gotta figure out what the hell the pre-midpoint reactionary hero, what that means. Well, I already have it planned for somehow the Dasai are able to correct her vision. Pre-midpoint reactionary. What does that mean? After accepting the call to adventure found in the first plot point of your story, your protagonist has begun the journey towards achieving their story goal. But this journey is still quite new and overwhelming, and their core flaw or fear, the one that made them hesitate to begin the journey in the first place, still feels heavy. This is from wellstoried.com. Someone or something poses a threat to your protagonist, and this antagonistic force isn't about to let your protagonist achieve their goal without a fight. This throws the protagonist into survival mode. Instead of taking direct action against the antagonist, your protagonist focuses all their energy on merely surviving the conflicts thrown their way so they can get back to chasing down their story goal as soon as possible. This happens time and time again. So this is going to happen. I have to have several of these, apparently. In the midpoint rising action. Yet despite all these trials and tribulations, your protagonist fails to recognize the consequences of their reactionary state, of just how much they put at stake by refusing to take a stand, and that's going to come back to bite them. This is roughly the 50% mark. I don't know. See, I've hit a wall. I've hit some conflict here. And I'm not going to fight against it. This is this is the pre-midpoint rising action of my life. My new light came in. I'm very excited to try this out. So now I'm going to turn on the new light that I just got. That I definitely fell victim to TikTok advertising for. It's bright as shit. So let's see if this makes much of a difference here for my video quality. Better? It's day 4 of Panther Tries plotting. I think we're just about done. So I just want to jump into that, wrap this video up, wrap up this project. So let's crack open the old laptop and see where we left off yesterday. Well, it was not yesterday. It was 2 days ago, because Fridays kill me. I came home from work yesterday and I took a 3-hour nap. I woke up at 9 p.m. So in the pre-midpoint reactionary hero, I'm thinking that Rykors and Claire are going to crash land in the wilderness of this planet. And because she does not have any vision correction with her, she's entirely dependent on Rykors to keep her safe and help her navigate through the jungle. So there's going to be forced proximity, and I think that's going to be the pre-midpoint reactionary hero. So I think at the midpoint, Rykors realizes that he and Claire are being hunted by the Yilkov. In the resolution of the story, Claire is going to get the alien equivalent of LASIK, so that she can continue to see, or that she can begin to see, the rest of her future for the rest of her life. One plot point left is the aha moment. Rykors realizes Claire is his mate after she's been taken by the Yilkov, so that motivates him to fight to get her back. Okay, this is so bare bones, but I have filled in every single bullet point. From the top, the hook. Claire gets abducted after a shift at the smoothie shop. Our inciting incident, Rykors rescues the women from the Yilkov brig. First plot point, Claire is forced to remove her contact lenses and becomes entirely at the mercy of Rykors because she cannot see clearly beyond her fingertips. The pre-midpoint reactionary hero. Rykors and Claire crash land on the Dasai home planet with no comms. There's forced proximity. Claire is 100% dependent on Rykors to keep her alive because she cannot see. Game-changing midpoint, Rykors realizes that he and Claire are being hunted by the Yilkov. Post-midpoint action hero, Claire realizes her feelings for Rykors just before the Yilkov take her again. The disaster/dark moment, Rykors realizes that Claire has been taken by the Yilkov for revenge. The aha moment, Rykors realizes that Claire is his mate, and he must do everything to get her back. The climactic confrontation is the battle to get Claire before she is sold to, ? TBD. And the resolution, Claire gets the alien equivalent of LASIK so she can now clearly see her future. This is so bare bones, but I have made an outline for a story for the first time in my life. Hooray! Now I need to do a little brain dumping about the why. Why are you passionate about this story's theme? What is the truth you want to shout from the rooftops? What are some big ideas you want to explore? One truth I want to shout from the rooftops is that it is not okay to sleep in your contacts, even if it means you have to navigate an alien jungle blind. Some big ideas I want to explore. I want to explore connection. Disproving, I don't know how to word this. Disproving snap judgments. Even if you think you've peaked in life, you haven't. How? The journey. How are these characters going to go on an internal and external journey? What are they going to learn? How will they change as a result? Okay, Claire's internal conflict is that she's been trapped in the same routine for years and fears that she has stopped growing as a person. By the end of the story, she will realize that she can continue to grow and change, even if it's because she was abducted by aliens before crash landing in an alien jungle. Rykors' internal conflict is that he has been so far removed from regular society, being sent on endless infiltration missions behind enemy lines, that he feels himself incapable of connection. By the end of the story, Claire will have reignited his interest in other people, and he decides to retire from the military. There's a question mark there. I don't know. That's it. We did it. I did it. And you were there. If you've watched this far. I appreciate you. I outlined a novel. I've never done that in my whole life. I have been writing since I was in first grade. I have never outlined before in my life. That's crazy. The Heart Breathing's Rough Draft Challenge, another one, is starting in July, and I think I might take this story and work on that for the Rough Draft Challenge. We'll see. Rad. Let's see. What did I learn? I learned that I can plan in advance. I never thought that I could. I've always considered that my brain doesn't work that way, and I have just proven myself wrong. Will I attempt to outline stories in the future? I think so. I'm so good at... Ooh, is that true? I almost said I'm so good at new ideas, and I have not felt that way recently. So, we'll say it out loud. I am good at coming up with new ideas. But having a roadmap where I can just fill in the blanks and realizing that the outline is not set in stone, that as I write, I can change what's in the outline, because as I write the story is going to change. It's going to actually develop the characters and develop the world, and that will change and develop the outline, which I think is great because my outline is so bare bones, which makes it really flexible. If it was an outline like some of the authors that I have listened to, that'd be crazy. That I don't understand. Okay, when I was at Cassandra Clare's book signing several months ago, she said that her outline for Chain of Thorns, or one of the books in that trilogy, was, I think she said 45,000 words for an outline. My outline is 189 words, like the bare bones plot outline. Special thanks to Abby Emons. I don't know if she'll ever watch this, but thank you. Your video is very informative. I enjoy your content. This was a very interesting exercise. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you will do so, and give us a like button. That helps me be found by other people who might be interested in my content and might help me fulfill that vague daydream of being monetized. I'll see you guys in the next one.